What if a mysterious visitor from the depths of interstellar space carried the very seeds of life itself? An object older than our solar system, untouched for billions of years, now hurtling past Earth, and behaving in ways no comet ever should. They say every rock in space has a story. The 3I Atlas? Its story begins long before our solar system even existed. Scientists estimate this interstellar wanderer could be anywhere from 3 to 11 billion years old, meaning it was already drifting through the galaxy when our sun was just a newborn star. For at least 10 million years, Atlas hasn't passed close to any star. That's not speculation, it's based on careful analysis of stellar catalogs, which show no nearby flybys in all that time. Imagine that. A lonely traveler, untouched, unheeded, and unaltered, wandering the cold void for eons. During that endless journey, Atlas was bombarded by cosmic rays. These high-energy particles don't just leave scars. They actually change the chemistry of whatever they hit. Over billions of years, they enriched Atlas's surface with organic compounds and volatile ices. Think of it like a slow cosmic marinade, seasoning this object with the raw ingredients of life. And then there's its size and spin. Estimates put Atlas between 0.3 and 5.6 kilometers across, rotating once every 16 hours. That's fast enough to spread solar heating evenly across its surface when it finally approached our star, a detail that would later prove critical. But here's the part that makes Atlas so captivating. It's not just a comet, not just an asteroid, the something in between, a hybrid of rock, metal, ice, and organics, a survivor from a distant star system, carrying secrets from a time before Earth even formed. And just when astronomers thought they understood its quiet, ancient nature, Atlas began to act up. But that wasn't the whole story, because when Atlas finally entered our solar system, it started behaving in ways no one expected. Astronomers first spotted 3I Atlas on July 1, 2025. At first glance, it looked like just another faint speck moving against the backdrop of stars. But when researchers dug into older sky catalogs, they realized Atlas had been hiding in plain sight for months, maybe even years before anyone noticed. That alone was unusual. Interstellar objects are rare, and catching one early is almost unheard of. As Atlas crept closer to the sun, its behavior grew stranger. Around 2.5 astronomical units, roughly the distance between the sun and the asteroid belt, something dramatic happened. Its brightness didn't just increase gradually, the way most comets do. Instead, it surged by 2 full magnitudes almost overnight. To put that in perspective, that's like a dim porch light suddenly flaring into a spotlight. Normally, when comets brighten suddenly, astronomers chalk it up to a localized outburst, a patch of ice vaporizing and releasing gas. But Atlas didn't fade back down. The brightness stayed high and then kept climbing. This wasn't a flare-up. It was a state change. The evidence pointed to something extraordinary: global cryovolcanism. Instead of one region erupting, the entire surface seemed to ignite at once. Jets of vapor burst across Atlas's crust, releasing water, carbon dioxide, and other volatiles into space. It was as if the object had been storing energy for millions of years, and now, under the sun's gaze, it couldn't hold back any longer. And here's the kicker. Atlas's 16-hour rotation period meant sunlight was spread evenly across its surface. No single side baked while the other froze. That uniform heating made a global eruption far more likely. The whole body was primed to react, and when it did, the transformation was spectacular. For astronomers, this was a jaw-dropping moment. They weren't just watching a comet brighten. They were witnessing an interstellar object wake up after millions of years in the dark. But the surprises didn't stop there, because once Atlas reached its closest point to the sun, it revealed a feature no one had ever seen before. And what happened next would shock everyone. A comet tail that defied the laws of physics. When Atlas finally swung into its closest approach to the sun on October 29th, astronomers braced for fireworks. Comets often flare up at perihelion, releasing gas and dust as their icy surfaces vaporize. But what Atlas did was far stranger. Instead of simply glowing brighter and stretching its usual tail away from the sun, Atlas began to grow a second tail, pointing directly toward the sun itself. That's right, a sunward-facing tail. In the world of comets, this is almost unheard of. Normally, solar radiation and the solar wind push material away, creating the classic anti-sunward tail. But Atlas seemed to defy physics, producing a luminous jet that grew longer and brighter even as its main tail began to fade. Observers around the world were stunned. Amateur astronomers snapped photos showing this bizarre feature, and professional telescopes confirmed it. Atlas wasn't just dimming overall, it was redirecting its energy into this anomalous jet. The anti-sunward tail became diffuse, weaker, almost ghost-like. Meanwhile, the sunward jet sharpened, intensified, and stretched farther into space. And then came the jets. Not small bursts, but colossal eruptions blasting out from Atlas's surface. Some extended 50,000 kilometers into space, longer than Earth's diameter. These weren't isolated plumes. They were massive, coordinated outflows, evidence of the cryovolcanic surge that had overtaken the entire body. What made this even more puzzling was the timing. Just before perihelion, Atlas had been hammered by solar storms. Waves of charged particles slammed into its surface, injecting energy into an already unstable object. Instead of collapsing under the stress, Atlas seemed to feed on it, channeling that energy into its strange new behavior. Astronomers began to wonder, was Atlas creating its own magnetic field strong enough to interact with the solar wind in unusual ways? Magnetite crystals forming on its surface could explain the anomalous tail, bending plasma flows and redirecting material sunward. If true, Atlas wasn't just reacting to the sun. It was actively reshaping its environment. For scientists, this was a revelation. Atlas wasn't behaving like a comet at all. It was acting like something new, something we hadn't seen before. A hybrid object, part comet, part asteroid, part mystery. And the timing couldn't be more dramatic. Because after its perihelion, Atlas was on course to make its closest approach to Earth on December 19th. The world would soon be staring at this interstellar visitor, wondering what secrets it carried. But the real shock came when scientists looked deeper into Atlas's composition and realized it might contain the very building blocks of life. If Atlas's strange tails and explosive jets weren't enough, the real shock came when scientists analyzed its composition. Spectroscopic data revealed something extraordinary. Atlas carries a carbon dioxide to water ratio of 8:1. That's a staggering 4.5 sigma deviation above what's normal for comets in our solar system. In plain terms, it's way outside the usual range. This isn't just a comet behaving oddly. It's chemically unique. This isn't just speculation. The chemistry checks out. Water provides hydrogen and oxygen. Nickel acts as a catalyst. Carbon dioxide and carbon monoxide supply carbon. Add nitrogen, phosphorus, and sulfur, all detected in similar objects, and you have the recipe for amino acids, nucleotides, and sugars. The very molecules life depends on. So what does that mean? Atlas isn't just a comet. It's potentially a seed of life from another star system. A traveler carrying the raw materials for biology, now passing close enough to Earth that we might sample its debris stream in the coming months. And here's the chilling thought. If Atlas can carry these building blocks, how many other interstellar objects are out there, silently drifting, waiting to seed new worlds? But the mystery deepens. Because if Atlas is producing magnetite and building its own magnetic field, what does that mean for the survival of whatever it carries? If Atlas's chemistry suggested it carried the building blocks of life, its physics hinted at something even more astonishing: the ability to protect those ingredients. Here's why. As Atlas erupted near the sun, scientists detected the formation of magnetite crystals, Fe3O4, one of the strongest natural magnetic minerals. Magnetite isn't just a geological curiosity. On Earth, it's found scattered across ancient rocks, embedded in bacteria, and even used by animals to sense the planet's magnetic field. It's a mineral that bridges the gap between geology and biology. For Atlas, magnetite meant one thing: the potential to generate its own magnetic field. And that changes everything. Normally, comets are vulnerable. Solar radiation strips away their atmospheres, cosmic rays bombard their surfaces, and volatile compounds break down. But magnetite can create localized magnetic regions. Combine that with Atlas's plasma environment, the ionized gas streaming off its surface, and you get a protective bubble. Scientists call this an ionopause, a boundary where charged particles are deflected. We've seen this before. The Rosetta mission observed Comet 67P developing a magnetic barrier of 30 to 50 nanotesla. When a solar storm hit, that field spiked to 300 nanotesla. For comparison, Earth's magnetic field at the surface is about 25,000 to 65,000 nanotesla. So while comets don't rival planets, their magnetic shields are far from negligible. Now imagine Atlas. With magnetite forming across its surface, its magnetic field could be stronger, more stable, and more complex than anything we've seen on a comet. That means its organics, amino acids, nucleotides, sugars aren't just exposed to space. They're sheltered, cocooned inside a magnetic bubble that reduces radiation damage. And here's the mind-bending part. Life as we know it depends on magnetic shielding. Without Earth's magnetic field, cosmic rays would shred DNA, causing lethal mutations. Life wouldn't stand a chance. Atlas, by producing magnetite, may have stumbled into the same protective trick, a natural defense system for its volatile cargo. This raises a provocative question. Could Atlas be more than a carrier of molecules? Could it be a nursery for primitive life? If its magnetic field shields organics long enough, catalytic reactions could progress further, assembling not just amino acids but chains of RNA or DNA. In theory, even simple self-replicating structures could emerge. Of course, scientists remain cautious. No one is claiming Atlas is alive. But the convergence of evidence, magnetite formation, plasma shielding, organics enriched by cosmic rays, paints a picture of an object uniquely suited to preserve and nurture the chemistry of life. And the timing couldn't be more dramatic, because Atlas isn't just drifting through space. It's on a trajectory that will bring it closer to Earth than ever before. But the real suspense comes next, because on December 19th, Atlas makes its closest approach to our planet, and in the months that follow, Earth itself may pass through its debris stream. As if Atlas's strange chemistry and magnetic mysteries weren't enough, the real drama lies in its trajectory. This interstellar visitor isn't just passing through the solar system quietly. It's on a path that will bring it into striking proximity with our planet. On December 19th, 2025, Atlas makes its closest approach to Earth. Now, close in astronomical terms doesn't mean it's brushing past our atmosphere. It will still be millions of kilometers away. But in the grand scale of interstellar space, that's practically a handshake. For astronomers, it's a once-in-a-lifetime chance to observe an alien object from another star system as it sweeps past our world. But the real suspense comes months later, because Atlas didn't just brighten at perihelion, it erupted. Its cryovolcanic jets blasted 50,000 kilometers of material into space, ejecting dust, gas, and organics into a vast debris stream. And here's the twist. Earth's orbit is set to intersect that stream between March and April 2026. Think about that. Our planet could literally plow through the trail of an interstellar object, sweeping up particles that were forged billions of years ago in another star system. Some of that material may rain down into our atmosphere, microscopic grains carrying exotic chemistry, perhaps even amino acids or nucleotides. This isn't just science fiction. The theory of panspermia, the idea that life spreads across the cosmos via comets and asteroids, has long suggested that Earth itself may have been seeded by such encounters. If Atlas carries the building blocks of life, then its debris stream could be another delivery, sprinkling our planet with fresh organics. And here's where things get even more intriguing. Atlas's perihelion coincided with intense solar activity. Massive sunspots rotated into view just as Atlas aligned with the sun, triggering powerful solar storms. Some researchers speculate that Atlas's magnetic field may have interacted with the sun, influencing its activity. If true, then this object isn't just a passive traveler. It's actively shaping the environment of our solar system. So what happens when Earth crosses its path? Will we see spectacular meteor showers as Atlas's particles burn up in our atmosphere? Will scientists detect exotic organics in those grains, confirming that interstellar objects carry the seeds of biology? Or will Atlas surprise us yet again, revealing phenomena no one has predicted? One thing is certain. December's close approach and next spring's debris stream mark a critical window in human history. For the first time, we're not just observing an interstellar visitor. We're interacting with it, sharing space with its trail, and perhaps even absorbing its chemistry into our world. But the biggest question remains, if Atlas is a seed of life from another star system, what does that mean for us, and for the possibility of life across the galaxy? By now, Atlas has shattered expectations. It's not just a comet, not just an asteroid, but something far stranger. A hybrid object carrying organics, magnetism, and mysteries from another star system. But the real question isn't about what Atlas is. It's about what Atlas means. Think about it. If Atlas truly contains amino acids, nucleotides, sugars, and water, then it's carrying the same raw materials that gave rise to life on Earth. And if those ingredients are common in interstellar objects, then life may not be a rare accident. It may be a galactic phenomenon. This is the essence of panspermia theory, the idea that life spreads across the cosmos, hitchhiking on comets, asteroids, and interstellar debris. Atlas could be living proof. For billions of years, it wandered the galaxy, collecting cosmic dust, absorbing radiation, and refining organics. Now, as it passes through our solar system, it may be delivering those compounds to us. And here's the staggering thought. What if Earth itself was seeded by objects like Atlas? What if our oceans, our DNA, our very existence began with a delivery from the stars? Suddenly, life isn't confined to one planet. It's part of a vast, interconnected web stretching across galaxies. But speculation doesn't stop there. Atlas's magnetite and plasma shielding suggest it can protect organics from radiation. That means molecules could survive intact for billions of years, even across interstellar journeys. In theory, primitive self-replicating structures could emerge inside such objects, sheltered by magnetic bubbles. If so, Atlas isn't just a carrier of molecules. It could be a nursery for life. Of course, scientists remain cautious. No one is claiming Atlas is alive. But the convergence of evidence, organics, water, magnetite, shielding, paints a picture of an object uniquely suited to preserve and nurture biology. And if Atlas can do it, how many other interstellar travelers are out there, silently drifting, waiting to seed new worlds? This flips the narrative of life itself. Instead of being a fragile miracle, life becomes a cosmic inevitability. Stars explode, scattering elements. Comets and asteroids gather them. Interstellar objects carry them across space. Planets sweep through debris streams, absorbing the chemistry. And sooner or later, the Lego blocks of biology snap together. Atlas may be the most dramatic reminder yet that we are not isolated. We are part of a galactic ecosystem, connected by invisible threads of chemistry and chance. But before we get carried away, there's one final piece to this puzzle: the conclusion of Atlas's journey and what its story tells us about our own place in the universe. So what have we learned from Atlas? It's not just another icy rock drifting through space. It's a messenger from the stars, carrying secrets billions of years old. From its sudden brightness surge at $2.50 to its bizarre sunward-facing tail, to the colossal jets that erupted across its surface, Atlas has defied every expectation. Its chemistry tells us it's rich in carbon dioxide, water, nickel, and iron. Its physics shows us magnetite forming, magnetic fields shielding, plasma interacting. and its parallels with rare meteorites and asteroids like Bennu suggest it carries the building blocks of life itself. Amino acids, nucleotides, sugars, water, all the ingredients needed to spark biology. But Atlas isn't just a scientific curiosity. It's a reminder of something bigger. Life may not be confined to Earth. It may be a cosmic inevitability, seeded across galaxies by objects like Atlas. If Bennu carried the basics, Atlas may carry even more. And as Earth prepares to cross its debris stream in spring 2026, we may soon find ourselves interacting directly with material from another star system. That possibility forces us to ask profound questions. Was Earth seeded by interstellar visitors like Atlas? Are we part of a galactic network of life, connected by invisible threads of chemistry and chance? And if life can hitchhike across the stars, then what else might be out there, waiting to arrive? Atlas's journey isn't over. It will swing past Jupiter, continue outward, and eventually leave our solar system behind. But its brief visit has already changed us. It's shown us that the universe is stranger, richer, and more alive than we imagined. So as December 19th approaches, and as spring brings the chance to cross its trail, remember this: Atlas isn't just passing by. It's leaving us with a message written in dust, ice, and magnetism, a message that whispers, life is not alone.